Hey, what's going on, guys? So, lesson 9. This is an interesting topic with climate change on, how do we get here? How much of this falls on big corporations and how much of it falls on your day-to-day people and the different and various systems that we can go to prevent this, the obvious facts that are out there that it shows that climate change and global warming is happening, and it's due to our industrial age and all that was left behind and all that is trying to be being changed and the different obstacles that have to face it. So I'm going to start off by going and talking about my stance on global warming, climate change. I fully believe in it and try my best on a consistent basis to make sure that I'm not adding to it. However, it is so hard as a human because you just don't even know how you are adding to it. The actual education, that's a big barrier for what government has to go through is educating people on, or even the people who are trying to stop it, is educating people on what they are doing and why it's bad. Being able to spread that message and have people actually get it. Like there's so many things out there. There's so many people promoting climate change, but it's just not there yet. The president of the United States just isn't supporting it, just doesn't believe in it, and it's just like it just hasn't hit the tipping point where enough people have said enough is enough, that over time, because it's not going to be an overnight fix. It's going to be a 15 to 20 year process, to be able to fix this and to clean up our planet and for all the things that we have destroyed. And that might, who knows um, if that's even going to be enough, for us to be able to turn back time, or to halt global warming and to stop all this climate change. There was just a glacier the size of I don't want to be wrong in saying this. I don't want to be wrong in saying the size of Australia because that's really big. Maybe the size of Utah, the state, or Delaware, maybe some state. But there was a glacier that had just fallen off. It just broke off. Like there's just obvious facts that global warming is happening, but we continue to fall into it. And as just a human, you need to ask yourself, you're driving around every single day. That adds to it. If you decide to throw this in the trash or recycle it, that adds to it. Or if this is a Capri Sun, if I was driving around, I know friends that would be tempted to throw this out their window. That adds to it. All these little things, all these small actions from millions and millions of people every single day, that's what's causing it. That's what makes it hard for people to buy into it, because people's excuse is, oh, someone is just gonna throw it out the window, or someone's gonna let the bottle get into the ocean, and just my one action isn't gonna be able to save it. Well, yeah, over time, well, not right now, not in this very moment, but over time, if you do it enough, maybe you get your friends to start doing it. And then your actions are multiplied by 4 times because you got 4 friends to buy into what you're doing. And then maybe you see a little bit more of a difference. And then those 4 friends influence 8 friends and so forth. And you see this compounding thing. But I think the issue is people don't believe that they can truly make an impact, and I think that's where it stems from. Um, because we know how to fix it, we know what we have to do, but we neglect to do it because we don't think our voice and our opinions will make an impact. Millennials don't vote because we're rebellious and our voices aren't going to be heard anyway, so we don't vote. It's this concept that you don't have the power to change things, that we've been suppressed by like propaganda, just like the way that we're talked to. People don't believe, people would talk down to you, rather than encouraging you to help change the world. People are always like, you can't do that. What makes you think that you can do that? And you get into this whirlwind, and that's what's causing global warming, is people don't feel like throwing this out into the trash rather than on the street actually makes a difference. It's that what is going to allow us to move. It's that shift in consciousness that we need to be able to have in ourselves to be able to go and throw these things out. Because if we don't, our world isn't going to be here by 2050. You know, we're going to be going through some severe things. Like, our weather is crazily changing. Like, just go analyze our winters. You know, our winters are getting. How do I describe this? We barely have winters. Our summers and our hot days are getting longer, basically, and our cold days are shrinking. You know, we're not getting much winter. You know, it's just a little bit cold. Sometimes it's even really hot. You know, in the middle of winter, so a lot of it does fall on these big corporations because they do have the money to be able to educate the system. I think it's also the encouraging them, like setting different goals. You see now in the universities how they have the different, filling up water bottles, how many water bottles you've saved. I think those are really good because you can actually quantify how much you're saving, which helps in the long run because plastic isn't good for anyone, even our health, let alone the environment. So those things are good. I think those are good steps forward. I think Dunkin' Donuts had done a good job. I had realized, since I'm a Dunkin' Donuts fan, not a Starbucks fan. Sorry if I offend anyone. I'll go to Starbucks. But just talking about Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts put in, rather than having paper towels, they have the renewable energy hand dryers, which is really cool because it's towards renewable energy. It's towards, saving plant. It's towards like this new way. So it's good to see these big corporations taking leaps, but I didn't really see any advertisement around that, and I think that's where they need to start putting their dollars towards and to show these people that they're backing these good things. All these companies who make a lot of money and then donate their money elsewhere. I think that's what they should be showcasing because that's really why they're doing it. And I think by shedding light on those companies, I think that will cause a universal shift in that it is the new and cool thing to be health conscious or even universal conscious, like to make sure that you're cleaning up. Even in Newark, it's terrible walking down the streets and seeing the amount of trash. I think a good start would be, getting more trash bins out there, more places for people to throw their things out. There can't be enough trash bins and recycling bins out there because it needs to be in people's face. Their first reaction can't be, I'm just going to throw this on the floor because there's not a trash bin around. Their first reaction should just look up and be able to see the first trash bin. Obviously, that's like a big leap. Obviously, it's a lot of trash bins. It's a lot of money. Who knows where that comes from? The government, someone who's a billionaire and pays for it. I don't know. I just have always thought if there's just more trash bins and recycling bins out there, I think people would naturally put it in there because that's what we've been taught since kids. But the lack of them makes him throw it on the ground. So, it's a big topic. I think it starts with people believing that their decisions right now, like once I finish this, to go throw it in the trash. I think that's where it starts, and to separate the recycling and, to keep your friends accountable as well. So I'm going to post this. Hope you guys get some value for this. Talk to you soon. Peace.